Attention, quiet on the set. It's Tirade TV.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. This your boy B Lloyd with Tirade TV. First of all, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Also, check out our podcast on all mainstream podcast platforms. Check that out. Go in, follow it, download it, do whatever it is you have to do to continue to listen. We definitely appreciate it. We appreciate everyone who's been supporting thus far, and hopefully, you will share where we can get more views, more supporters, because everyone would like to hear the news from a different perspective, let's say. But just to get right into it. I'm about to, I guess, share a story here that I don't know if every mainstream media platform has shared it or reported it. This here is courtesy of ABC 7 in Detroit. Basically, this is a reason why there should be a Second Amendment. This is one of the main reasons why those who support the Second Amendment actually support the Second Amendment. And without further ado, let's take a look at it, listen to it here. For those who are on the podcast, I will definitely play it, and I may even read a little bit of the article. But yeah, let's see what we're talking about here, because everyone seems to have an issue with the Second Amendment. But I wonder how many people have been in this predicament. So I can almost tell you, most people who are against, the Second Amendment have not been in this predicament here, have not been in this situation. But what I'll do is I'll share a little bit of the video here and there, read a little bit of the article, and maybe stop in between just to kind of give you a little commentary, let you know how I feel about it. So let's see here. So this one here says homeowner 62 fatally shoots acquaintance he says was threatening to him and his girlfriend. So right there, I'm looking at the word acquaintance. So obviously he knew the person that was threatening him. And you know what? You'll be surprised how many people actually, that will actually turn out to be threatening for one reason or another. Maybe they get drunk, and I've personally known people who have had a little too much to drink, and I guess they had that liquid courage or whatever, and approached someone and threatened someone the wrong way, and unfortunately, it turned out fatal. The person they were threatening had to defend themselves, and looked like that may be the situation here. But let's see. It said it was an acquaintance threatening him and his girlfriend. So let's see what they say here.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us here at 5. I'm Brian Abel. What a homeowner describes as an attempted home invasion ends in a fatal shooting. The 62-year-old homeowner says he and his girlfriend had no choice but to shoot the man whom they know when he showed up at their house overnight in a neighborhood near McNichols and Telegraph on Detroit's west side. 7 Action News reporter Kimberly Craig spoke with the homeowner and joins us live now with his side of the story. Kim?
Yes, Brian. And the homeowner says he knows this man through his girlfriend, and he says the man has always been nice, but that he was anything but that early this morning.
I'm scared like crazy, yeah. I'm scared like crazy, I am. Because I never seen him in that behavior before. It was totally off character.
He doesn't want to show his face, and we'll call him James, and he wants people to know that he never wanted to take a man's life. But trouble came around 4:30 this morning. It was a man in his 40s who believed James's living girlfriend owed him some money.
I said, you're going to get your money, man. Just calm down. Just calm down. You're going to get your money.
Wow. So not only is an acquaintance, but the guy, the intruder, or the suspected intruder, says that this man's girlfriend owed him some money. So I don't know what went on there. I don't know if that's true or not. They're not really saying as of yet. Maybe we should listen to the rest of the story here, but things get confrontational. Don't play with people's money.
I don't care. I want my stuff now.
James, who's 62 years old, said the acquaintance, who had always been friendly, was now angry, belligerent, and armed with a gun with which he allegedly fired 2 shots while threatening to kill James and his girlfriend.
And he was getting real violent, angry. So what he did, he shot some rounds out in the front of the house.
Just this morning.
Yeah, this morning, shot some rounds this morning. Then he went to the side of the house in the back of the window side of the other bedroom.
So let's stop right there for a second. Definitely the guy wasn't playing. He was definitely trying to get in the home to get his money, supposedly, through the front door and looked like one of the side or the back windows there. So he was not playing. It wasn't a game. He was definitely, threatening the people who were inside of the home. And before anybody else say anything about racism, you do notice that on the scene there were at least 2 black police officers there. So it's not like they were going there, saying, "Oh, this is a black man," and it's not like there's some white police officer going there saying, "Okay, it's a black neighborhood. We're gonna try to make it look like something happened that didn't really happen." This is actually, as you saw in the video there were at least 2 black police officers on the scene. So I just wanted to get that out.
In the back, he busted out the window.
James said they called 911. Did he say what he was going to do when he got inside?
Yeah, he was gonna kill he was gonna kill me outside. He was gonna kill her next.
That's what he said.
Kill my girlfriend next,
It's unclear where the 2 shots fired by the would-be intruder went, but we've seen time and time again where bullets penetrate a house and kill people inside. James said he just wanted the man to leave, and before going outside, he grabbed his own handgun.
So I told him he needed to go home. He said, "No, I'm not going home. I'm not going home."
One thing that I didn't like, he said, it was reported anyway that just before he went outside, he grabbed his own handgun. I don't know if I'd be going outside, because in that situation, yeah, that you see one person, but you could never really know who else is out there. There could be someone, hiding, ducking down behind a car, behind a tree. There could be someone off, in the distance with another firearm. Who knows? So in that situation, I don't think I would have gone outside. I mean, in that situation, you could wait till the intruder or the suspected intruder to come in or whatever. But I don't know if I would go outside. I think if he put himself in harm's way doing that, I think anyone would. Unless it's a situation where they've already broke into your home and they're in the home and you don't know where they are in the home. It may be a situation. You may be able to be the best thing to get out then, but right now he knows the intruder is still outside and he's familiar with them obviously, but he really don't know how many are out there. So I don't know if I would have gone outside. I would have, obviously, called the police if I had time to. Um, Sometimes you don't have time to though, but because take the police 3 or 4 minutes to get there. I mean, unfortunately, do you know how many lives can be taken in the span of 3 or 4 minutes? So, me personally, I think he did the right thing by defending himself. Because if you're counting on the police, it's not their fault. I mean, they're not omnipresent like God. They can't be in all places at all times. So he had to do what he had to do. But let's finish here.
And so what happened was when I went outside and stepped on the porch right there, he was right there, right outside on the left side right here. He had a gun. He had a gun on the side, and he was about to he was taking it out. About to point it. He was about to lift it up. He was pointing at me, and that's when I shot him.
Detroit police arrived to begin their investigation into what may be an attempted home invasion that ended in a fatal shooting. James says he wonders how such a nice guy could become so violent.
I think he was drinking and stuff, and I don't know if he taking any kind of pills or whatever, but he just was total opposite of the nice guy he should have been, and he just was a total opposite person.
And right now, Brian, Detroit police can only say that this is still under investigation. Reporting live on the city's west side, Kimberly Craig, 7 Action News, back to you.
A decision nobody wants to be confronted with. Kim, thank you.
No, you don't. No one wants to be confronted with that decision there, definitely. But I could tell you this: most people who are against the Second Amendment, or I would just say at this point, really your God-given right to defend yourself, I would like to know how many have been in that situation. And like I said, it was someone that he actually knew. He was an acquaintance with. Him and his girlfriend was an acquaintance of. And the guy clearly said, I think they gave him, the name of James. They called him James. I think I don't know. He seemed that he said the guy was usually pretty nice, very nice person. It's just in that moment in time, whether it's he was under the influence of something else, drugs or alcohol or whatever, he was not the nicest guy. He was not the nice guy that this guy they called James knew him to be, and that happens sometimes. But this is this is a prime example of why there needs to continue to be the Second Amendment need to support it. Because think about this: what if this guy and his girlfriend were in the home, and let's just say he didn't have a firearm to defend himself? Now we already know that the intruder, the suspected intruder, had a firearm because the guy sit here and described how he was actually going, basically drawing his firearm. What would have happened if this homeowner and his girlfriend? What would have happened if the guy wouldn't have had a firearm to defend himself? I mean, in this particular situation, instead of one life being taken, there could have been two. Because if the intruder gets in, let's just say he gets in, he enters the home, and the homeowner and his girlfriend have no way of defending themselves. He clearly said, the homeowner clearly said that the guy told him that he was going to kill him first and then kill his girlfriend. So instead of there being two, and don't get me wrong, one, one fatality is enough. That's that's too many. One is too many. But in this case, there could have been two. But because the guy they called James, the homeowner, was able to defend himself and his girlfriend, it's still unfortunate a life was lost, but one life was lost rather than two. So, and not only that, who's to say if this guy would have done this to someone else? Who's to say if this would have been the last time or that he tried to invade someone's home, break into someone's home and ask for money or anything else? So there's a possibility that he could have saved he saved more lives. Because if someone is under the influence of drugs and alcohol, and I'm pretty sure most of us as adults, we've, and maybe even kids, unfortunately, but we've been around someone who is under the influence of drugs and alcohol to the point where they are no longer themselves, and they may be belligerent and angry. They can't really comprehend. It's like they're just seeing red, and at that point, they don't care. All they care about is the fact that there's something that they want. They have a goal, and they're going to do what it takes to accomplish that goal. And that goal is to harm someone. But thankfully for people like uh the homeowner they call James, he exercised his Second Amendment and his God-given right to defend himself. And unfortunately, like I said before, that there had to be a fatality here, but you know it 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 happens. He is his right. But I wonder how many politicians, like Beto O'Rourke or Biden or Harris or anyone else or Sheila Jackson Lee or any of these other politicians who are against the Second Amendment, what are they going to say about this? Because stories like this happen more often than you think. They're just not reported. Because it's not part of the, it doesn't fit the narrative. Let's put it that way. They're not reported. So I would say, in this situation, even though we don't like seeing lives taken, but I would say, he did the right thing. The homeowner did the right thing. He did what he was supposed to do: defend himself, defend his girlfriend, and defend everything else in his home. Because not only could um, they have been basically their lives could have been taken, but also everything in the guy's home could have been taken, for that matter. I mean, you don't know what the guy would have done if he'd have actually gotten to the home and the homeowner, wouldn't have been able to defend himself. You have no idea. Like, there's so many possibilities of what could have happened. But I want to know why more stories like this aren't reported, because they are important. People need to know that no matter what, they have the right to defend themselves. And mainstream media and certain politicians make it look bad when people try to defend themselves. And that shouldn't be. You should have the right to defend yourselves. We should have the right to defend ourselves. I include myself in that too. And we shouldn't feel guilty for defending ourselves. Yeah, unfortunately, if you have to take someone's life, it's not going to feel good. You shouldn't feel happy about that. Like this guy here, you could tell he didn't feel happy. He wasn't even comfortable. You could tell by the way they never showed his face, but you could tell by the way, his rate of speech, his tone of his voice, and the way he was moving his hands and in his wrist. You could see he didn't feel comfortable. He was upset that he had to do it. At the same time, he did what he had to do. The whole situation is unfortunate. It's like you can't look at it and say, well, he shouldn't have, taken the guy's life. What was the other option at that point? Okay, he could have tried to run out the back door, but running out the back door, the guy still could have got off some rounds and hit the homeowner and his girlfriend in the back. Or while he's running out the back door, he could have doubled around and come on the other side and they could have run smack into him. That could have been something else. Just saying. Not only that, the guy firing the intruder, if he fired, who to say where that round goes? It could have hit the homeowner and his girlfriend, but it could have hit someone else in a nearby home. Could have hit the neighbor. Who knows? Because remember, at this point, according to what's being said here, the suspect or the intruder, he's under the influence of something. And let's be honest, when you're under the influence of something, you more than likely you probably don't know where you're firing at. So let me know what you all think about this. Why are more stories like this not shown on your CNNs or your MSNBCs or, ABCs or CBS, whatever? Now I would say kudos to this, the local Detroit affiliate here, ABC affiliate here. I think it's ABC7. They actually showed it. They actually talked about it. So they didn't necessarily really try to hide it. So in this situation, they did their job. I mean, that's what a story or that's what the news should look like. They didn't try to put out there to make people feel one way or another. They didn't try to lead you to believe this way or lead you to believe the other way. They just put the story out, and basically the people in Detroit will be able to decide or express their opinion on what happened. So, anyways, that's all I have on that. I didn't mean for this to be that long, but yeah, let me know what you all think in the comments. Um, do you feel the homeowner did the right thing? Do you feel in that situation we should all, let's say, handle ourselves in a like fashion? Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and always remember this: never let any mainstream media or so-called politician dictate what you do and how you think. Do your research and decide for yourself. See you.
I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.